What's up to Lion Talk Live? So we love you too, buddy.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live, Coach Dan, by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
I love nothing more than watching Lions Talk Live every morning. Woo!
Woo!
Well, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I'm your host, once again, Dan Thornton. Hey, want to thank you all for joining us here today. Lions Talk Live, Monday morning show edition. And you know what? The picture for the road to the playoffs for the Detroit Lions is getting a little bit clearer week by week. As you can tell from today's thumbnail, though, we've got something to talk about that will happen more than likely in the offseason. And while nothing is 100% confirmed, at least brings up some speculation and clarity about the Lions' future regarding to a couple spots. Could there be others? We're going to analyze that during the main top of the day. Before we get into the main top of the day, before we break down the playoff race, before we break down some stuff to go on with the next game for the Lions against the Rams, before we get into the 5 headlines now, you probably know it all by now. If you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so, making that march over for 15,800. We are 81 subs away from hitting that, so if you can assist with that, man, here you go. Crisp, clean high five coming your way. Also, if you have a half second of time, reach on over, hit the thumbs up button, the like button, hit all the buttons. We try to get every episode of the show between 200, 300, 400 more. Thumbs up or likes. Last but never least, if you see it on the bottom of your screen, I'm trying to go through this as quick as possible. If you're looking to buy or sell property anywhere in the great state of Michigan or the continental United States, call me, text me, whatever you want to do, 269-998-2384. Have a conversation, how I can use over 30 years in the industry, save you time, hassle, money, the whole shebang bang. All right, with all that done, set out of the way, let's get the show kicking off, rocking, rolling, going, and leading into 5 headlines now. All right, 5 headlines coming your way. Tom Kennedy shines in limited opportunities for Lions versus Cowboys sideline report. Story by Michael Kalwander with this one. Tom Kennedy is a familiar face to any and all Lions fans. The guy's been around for years now, and we can say this in recent weeks. Boy, you can really see his production now that he's getting an opportunity skyrocket out the chart. When St. Brown went down a couple, on Thanksgiving Day against the Cowboys, you could see how much Kennedy did come in and assume that role within the offense. Had some real nice catches on top of special teams performances. And then, of course, against the Cowboys, he had a meaningful 42-yard kick return amongst many other kick returns. Now that you're seeing this with Tom Kennedy, what are your thoughts? Should he, now that St. Brown's back, should Kennedy be on the 53-man roster the rest of the year and maintain his status as a punt kick returner, extra wide receiver? I would think the answer is yes, but let's see what you guys have to say. Lions have maybe one of the biggest 4-game stretches of the MCDC era. I don't want to say it is the biggest 4, but it's at least in the conversation. If you win all 4, you will be in the playoffs. There's no doubt about that. If you win 3 of the 4, you've got a high probability, but not guaranteed to get in. How much can Tom the Killer Kennedy help out with that? We'll find out. Jameson Williams is becoming the player the Lions knew he could be. USA Today, story by Bo Underwood. It feels like a topic we've been beating up a lot on this show, and I'm sure you guys have heard it on 50 gajillion other shows as well, but there's no way to escape it. Jameson Williams is becoming that guy. When we drafted him, everybody said the same stuff about his speed, game-changing speed. There are people who are saying he is the number 1 wide receiver available in that particular draft, even though he had the torn ACL. Lions rolled the dice by trading up. You guys know the story from 30 to where they got him at number 12. And yes, they knew they were going to sit some time on him. He did have some suspensions. for violating gambling, and then, some, it wasn't peptides, but he had some sort of substance. I think it had to do with his ADHD, etc., that got him on the naughty list with the NFL for a minute. But once Amon-Ra St. Brown went down with that injury, you could see how much he emerged that game. And you've seen a whole lot in the last, we'll say, 6 weeks or so. Is it simply that, Jameson Williams has hit that stride where he's got enough experience now? He's refined his role, his mechanics, his ability to get in and out of breaks. Whatever you want to say, we can probably all agree you're starting to see more and more evidence that he's becoming a number one wide receiver, no longer just Robin or, the number two wide receiver. He's becoming that guy. He's obviously one of the biggest deep threats in the entire National Football League. But just last week, you could see he blow past the defender. The defender had to start getting sprinting to, try to catch up with him. He'd hit the brakes and have a comeback route. This is something he didn't even do last year. But his footwork, and we've talked about it during the live cast quite a bit, his footwork, his elbow usage still isn't great, but you can see it's improved. Where he was coming into the scouting combine and, after his senior year of college football, I get at the scouting combine, he had a torn ACL, but you also understand a lot of people said he's just an athlete at this point. He doesn't really have refined skills, but then the Lions got a hold of him, and they've been refining those skills for years now. That refinement seems to be paying off exponentially. It'd be interesting to see what somebody who was a non-Lions fan said. Hey, rank the NFL wide receivers. Where would you put Jameson Williams? Where would the Do crew put him? Maybe that's the bigger question. My opinion, he's a top 20 wide receiver. Maybe an argument could be made for top 15 to top 10. But with that being said, the fact that you have somebody like him who's locked up for the foreseeable future with this organization, on top of maybe the greatest wide receiver in the NFL currently in Amon-Ra St. Brown, along with perhaps the greatest running back in Jahmyr Gibbs, along with one of the top 5 tight ends when he's healthy, Sam Laporta. You guys get it. The Lions are stacked for probably the next 2 to 3 seasons at the least at the skilled position. Let me know your thoughts, though. I want to see what you guys think. Where would you put Jameson Williams in the pantheon of NFL wide receivers? All right, Lions urged to add Pro Bowl safety after Brian Branch injury. The heavy story by Nathan Doherty. You're going to hear all sorts of stuff this week. You saw some the end of last week. Where can the Lions go to help replace Brian Branch and potentially Kirby Joseph if he's going to be out for a while? I'm not sure, but at least as far as this particular story from the heavy, Nathan Doherty said the Lions need to go out and try to achieve grabbing this person, that person, the other person. The person he wanted the most was Simmons. You guys all know Justin Simmons. He's 32 years old. He played briefly last year with the Atlanta Falcons. He has not played for anybody this year. He does still have some speed. He does still have athleticism. Is he going to be a 4-time Pro Bowler at this point? As far as his ability to play on the field, probably not, but could he be a nice addition to the team? We did a story about 2 days ago, what my personal thoughts of everything I had heard the Lions are going to do, but is Bo Underwood correct that the Lions are going to go outside to try to get somebody to bring him on in? We'll have to wait and see, but I think Nathan Doherty, I think I said Bo Underwood, but anyways, Doherty, I think he's right that the Lions are going to kick cans on other guys. They're going to do their due diligence trying to acquire somebody if they feel like they need to. My personal belief is that Rocky El-Singh is going to get moved over. Either that or a culmination of him, maybe Lawrence Strickland, are going to assume those roles, the safety position. And if Kirby Joseph come back, then maybe Rock stays at corner. And then Strickland does take this the pseudo Brian Branch role because they are very similar. Brian Branch is better, but it doesn't mean that Lawrence Strickland isn't similar to how Brian Branch plays. We'll want to pay attention to this because this will be a big question for the team going down the stretch. Avonte Maddox could also be somebody if Kirby Joseph comes back. You can pair him next to him. For those who maybe are unaware, Avonte Maddox is primarily through his NFL career, he's been a cornerback. He is nowhere near the size of Brian Branch or the hitting power, but he can cover like Brian Branch does out of the linebacker spot when they move him up at the line of scrimmage. He can get after the quarterback. He just doesn't have quite the body mass that Brian Branch has. That being said, he can fill a lot of those roles. All right, you knew this was coming today and probably all week long and then all next week and the week after that. You understand where it goes from there. Updated NFC playoff picture. There's a new top seed. 49ers climb one spot to SB Nation with this one. You're going to have it the rest of the year. As long as the Lions keep winning, guess what you have? You have playoff pictures, you have playoff results, and yes, we're all going to be paying attention to it. In case you were grossly unaware, the Rams have taken over the number one spot in the NFC. The Pack attack, hey, they may have done the Lions a solid yesterday. I guess it comes down to your opinion, but they're number 2. Philadelphia Eagles, you guys understand they've got to play a game still. They're number 3. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We did talk about this lightly, I want to say on Saturday, but I was actually rooting for the Buccaneers to lose. Why does that matter? If the Carolina Panthers should end up getting that spot, the division lead, then what does that mean? If the Lions and Tampa Bay Buccaneers are in a battle for the final playoff spot, let's just assume that holds true for a second. Guess who gets that spot if they have the same record? That's right, the Detroit Lions, because the Lions own the head-to-head tiebreaker over the Bucs. And right now, you can see Carolina and Tampa Bay have the same record. That will be I think a dogfight going down to the end of the regular season. Seattle Seahawks, I thought for a second maybe they were going to be on the ropes, and then the second half happened yesterday. We'll see where they go from there. Right now, Vegas has the Seattle Seahawks as the number 2 betting favorite to be in the Super Bowl for the NFC. San Francisco 49ers, I think they may have the easiest path going forward down the final 4 games. We'll see if that holds true. Chicago Bears, man, think about this. Yesterday morning, they were the number 1 seed in the NFC. Now they're number 7, just ahead of who? The Detroit Lions. Who do the Detroit Lions currently have the head-to-head tiebreaker over? The Chicago Bears. Obviously, the Bears are going to face Green Bay once again in 2 weeks. And then, in 4 weeks, the Detroit Lions are going to face them. If the Lions, you guys get it, man. If you want to say they're script writers, that's fine. If you want to say, everything's predetermined, that's also fine. But you guys probably fully understand that final game of the regular season more than likely is going to be the prime time, 8 o'clock matchup if everything holds true from here forward. And that means Ben Johnson, Dan Campbell, Lions, Bears, mauling it out in Soldier Field for the right to go to the playoffs. The loser, in my opinion, will not be going to the playoffs. So we'll see where it goes from there. But that is your playoff picture update. And I think, it's going to be a fun final 4 games of the regular season for all Lions fans. All right, with all that done, roundtable. Do you think the Lions have a realistic shot to beat the Rams? SI.com. And this is from multiple reporters. I can't even get them all on the screen. They interview a whole lot of people when it comes to this. All right, take a deep breath, and here we go. So, roundtable real quick. Let's start this off. This is Christian Bohr. Does talk about the Brian Branch injury, how it's brutal for the Shep flex defense, all the different things he can do. I get it. The only thing I will say, not playoff related, Brian Branch is going to be in a dogfight for the next year to try to get back on the field and get his speed, athleticism back. Unlike an ACL, and this is just my opinion, I don't have corroborating information for you. An Achilles can really rob an athlete of their athleticism, their burst, etc. Brian Branch has got the best medical attention available on planet Earth coming his way. They're going to do all sorts of things to try to help him recover, get right, see where it goes from there. Now, getting back to the matchup with the Rams, Christian Bohr does point out, even with Brian Branch out, doesn't mean the Lions are without some firepower on the defense. You've seen what the pass rush can do when it's allowed to be unleashed. And I think that's the key statement. When you're not being stubborn as a coach, in my opinion, and just sticking to your scheme, hey, we're just going to force you to not be able to run through any of these lanes here, keep a mobile quarterback in check, stop the running attack, and then allow our secondary to shut down the pass. I understand the thoughts behind it, but what do you do? Well, how much better does the Detroit Lions pass rush look when you allow these guys to tee off and go after the quarterback and not worry about principles? Matt Stafford, give him all sorts of props. He's going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback. He's done a whole lot of good things for the Detroit Lions and now the Rams. He's won a Super Bowl. He's got the number 1 team in the NFC right now. But he is no longer exactly a mobile quarterback. Doesn't mean he can't move around, but I think you're going to see Shep get after him and try to get the ball out of his hands. You got to pick your poisons, as it's pointed out in this story. I think that's where somebody like Avonte Maddox may come in a little bit more. Vito Cerrito thinks I believe it'll be a bad blow with the Lions not having Joseph and Brian Branch. We've heard that, so let's move on from that part. That being said, he does think the Lions have enough abilities to get after Stafford and play for what all Lions fans know can happen when Matt Stafford gets rattled. 1, 2, 3 bad passes a game that go the other way. You've seen it in LA. You've seen it with the Lions. Stafford, for all of his flowers, all of his praise, at times does get rattled. And when he gets rattled, that's when the pick sixes happen. That's when the turnovers happen. And he thinks the Lions can do enough to shut down the Rams' running attack to force it all to be on Stafford. He's not the best play action quarterback in the NFL history. That's, I think, something we can all agree on. So now, can he tip a pass or two? Can he hit him once or twice? Can he get those 1 to 3 plays, whatever amount of fingers that is, to basically change his game? I think the quick answer is yes. Moving on, how did the Lions rebound against the Cowboys? Boer's thought was not with, breaking out everything he's got listed here. He said it became more or less the rotation of the defensive line, getting faster, more athletic guys. We've talked about this week. We talked about it to the Cowboys game. Muhammad came in along with having Derek Barnes play some defensive end, along with, even though I know we don't always want to talk about him, Davenport coming in. When those three are rotating, along with Aiden Hutchinson, the Lions are vastly different in the pass rush because they simply have more athleticism and size out there. It's no disrespect to Wheat, Lacey, Aleem McNeil. They just don't have that extra gear that those guys do. Now, could Ahmed Hassanin or somebody else emerge to give you even another option in the rotation? If that happens, not only can you get after Matt Stafford, but I think every quarterback left on the schedule you can get to and you can rattle. You can get some hits on them. Going through the rest of this here, Lions, the rest of their schedule, they point out they think the Lions do have, once you get past the Rams, we get it. You got the Pittsburgh Steelers. Aaron Rodgers is no longer a mobile quarterback. He is somebody who's, hate to say it, but probably even slower, more flat-footed than Jared Goff, so you can get after him. J.J. McCarthy is a mobile quarterback, but his accuracy is either here or there. See what shakes out from there. And then, Caleb Williams, you guys all know the final game of the regular season. That's going to be in Soldier Field. We'll have to see how the weather impacts that game, but he is a mobile person. All right, with all that done said, we've done with 5 headlines now. Let's go ahead and get over to the main topic of the day. All right, main topic of the day. It's unavoidable for any franchise in sports and let's just face it, life in general. People are going to retire. If you didn't see Dave Burkett's story that came out yesterday, I didn't want to do a separate video on it. I figured everybody just kind of have a day off from most of the news. Go watch your rooting guides for the Lions. But it did come out that he's got some information that he thinks or he knows, I should say, Taylor Decker and Graham Glasgow are considering. Doesn't mean it's confirmed, but they are considering retiring at the conclusion of this season. Both of them are the last remaining people from the 2016 draft class. That's a long time to play in the NFL and a lot of wear to put on a human body. What would it mean if they both retire? Well, I think we are all aware that the Lions' offensive line has been somewhat in flux this year. While I think that Taylor Decker could gut it out another year or two, should he? He is showing signs of age. Now, since the first couple of games of the season where he was a little off-kilter, I do think he's kind of rebounded pretty well to have a not on his best season ever, but he's had a fair season. Graham Glasgow, I think if you're the biggest Lions supporter, you would probably even agree his play last year and this year, while it's been great to help us out, he's been the best option for us at those particular spots. It has not been stellar. Father Time is not kind to any of us, but offensive linemen, even more so. It does appear, per Dave Burkett's report, that both guys are at least contemplating it. Will they retire? It also leads you to believe, could there be other people on the Lions that might retire after this season? You are seeing some guys. The bulk of this team is fairly young, under 26 years old, 25 years old probably for the vast majority of the weapons. But that also being said, there are some guys in their 30s that could step down. How big of an impact would this be? And have the Lions already started preparing for it with the addition of a Giovanni Manu, Miles Frazier? I don't know if there's anybody else who want to throw on that list. I don't think Christian Mahogany is moving out to tackle. I think he'll remain at guard, but one never knows. What can you say about the job these guys have done? They come in during the Quinn Tricia era, one of the worst couple years or seasons in Lions history, having to go with Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia, and yet they've now been to the pantheon of recent Lions years by getting to the NFC title game and having 4 straight winning seasons, assuming the Lions get one more win the rest of this year. I've got nothing but good things to say about all of them. They've been Lions through and through. But at the end of the season, do you want them to retire? Do you want them to move on? Do you want them to stay? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section if you would be so kind. Is there anybody else that could potentially move on from the Lions and call it a career? I'm not sure, but we'll see what happens. In regards to the Rams, I do think the Lions have a shot. I didn't watch a whole lot of the games yesterday. I did watch the Rams, and I can say this. The Lions' offense will be a problem for the Rams. They can move the ball on them. The Lions can block enough, and I know we talk about the offensive line. We're talking about them, potentially a couple of them retiring, but I think the Lions can be physical enough with that group to keep some of their athleticism at bay, get a ground game going, and yes, the passing attack can go all over that defense. The Rams are going to have to bring the heat early and often, try to stuff the run. They're going to have to crowd the line, which is going to give Goff and everybody on that wide receiving core a ton of one-on-one matchups for him to take advantage of. The defense of the Rams, like we just talked about, you got some things you can do against. Now, the offense of the Rams, it'll be a battle of offenses in this game. Who can get enough stops and enough turnovers? If I were to guess right now, both teams are going to score in the 30s, maybe the 40s, and that's no disrespect to either D. I just think you've got enough firepowers with both teams and a lack of firepower in certain ways for both teams to take advantage of. All right, that's enough of the jibber jabber. Let's get over to you guys and see what you guys have to say. Hopefully everybody's having a phenomenal start to your day. And yes, here's one other thing I'll throw at you guys. I know there's a portion of our fan base that are less than happy with the season that we're having. Probably the win against the Cowboys helped, ease that a little bit. But imagine if you're the Indianapolis Colts fans right now. You started the year, whatever it was, 7-0. Look where they are now. And now, apparently, without a quarterback, or at least starting quarterback going down the stretch here, that's going to impact their season exponentially. Look at the Baltimore Ravens. You were, whatever it was, 1-5 at one point. You got back to 500. Man, I can't believe they waved off that one would-be game-winning touchdown pass. It is what it is, though. The process to catch didn't just get Kelvin Johnson, apparently. Think about their fan base. Kansas City Chiefs, you came to the season thinking it could be a Super Bowl season, and will you even make the playoffs? Probably not at this point. My point being with all of this, how much things can change from one season to the next season. One thing you can say with the Lions is that the last 4 seasons, they're all going to be winning seasons. There is, I think, a 0.00 chance Lions don't win at least one more game down the stretch. I think the bare minimum is they're going to win 2. Personally, I think we're going to win 3. We'll see if we can win all 4. So win, lose, or draw, your organization has found a way to do something most other organizations, I can say 80% of the NFL can't do. And that's get winning season after winning season after winning season after winning season. Father Time ain't kind to any NFL roster. That's part of the main top of the day, as you guys can see with the thumbnail. And yep, Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, they may not be perfect. This team may not be perfect. But you know what they're doing? Just winning, baby. All right, let's get over to the Duke Crew comment section. Michael, greetings and salutations, Coach Dan, the Duke Crew, exclamation, one pride. Woo! Good to see you. Hasan Madley, good morning, Coach Dan, the Duke Crew. Good afternoon to you, sir. Lauren, good morning, Coach Dan, and the world-famous Duke Crew. Rams week, excuse me. Let's go, Lions. We have an uphill battle. Hey, you know what? At least we got this extra time this week to get ready for the upward climb. Detroit D. I figured out who it was once I looked at the words. Good morning, Duke Crew. Back at you, my friend. How you doing today? Love having you in the channel. Detroit Matt. Good morning, Duke Crew. I'm calling it now. Week 18. We walk into Chicago, steal the Bears playoff spot, and break Ben Johnson's hopes and dreams. Woo! I think you could be dead right with that, man. Just look at the playoff format or setup, I should say, as it is right now. Do I think there's some other possibilities? Yeah, I do. I think it is possible Green Bay loses a bunch of games, although I do think they're going to beat the Bears one more time. Philadelphia, they're probably the one I'd watch the most. They're just in a bad way right now, like we saw a couple seasons ago. If they lose the next couple of games, I think all the wheels come off that ship and they might miss the playoffs. Wouldn't that be something? We'll pay attention on a week-to-week basis, of course. Bo, good morning, Duke Crew. Fix the leak, stop the bleeding, start the breathing, treat for a shock, exclamation point. Woo, I'll take that. I'm happy for Bears, 100%, 100%. Riley, good morning, Bo, exclamation point. Riley, Lions Talk Live is flexing strong. I'll go with that, with 100%. Good morning, Duke Crew. One pride. The Lord said, let there be the Detroit Lions, and grit was born. Exclamation point. Oh, yeah, I'll take that. Lauren Riley, Bo Booth, Hassadine, good morning, fellow Duke Crew brothers. Till the Hunt, Glasgow's retirement might be forced, and Decker his own choice, but the Lions are and have planned to draft both positions high in next year's draft, along with the development of Fraser Mahogany. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do, not just to your point, Attila, with bringing in some new draft picks, but developing some of these guys. I still think Giovanni Manu is going to pan out for the Lions. I get why some people don't. Do I think he's going to be a starter in this league? Probably not, but he could be a sound rotational backup for us for sure. Conan, hey, Duke Crew, Bears dropped, and that's about all the good news we got. Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of other stuff that I think directly, overly impacted the Lions. Bo, hey, Riley, did anyone watch the Bengals versus Bills? What a game it was, man. Back and down, up and forth. I was doing a bunch of stuff around the house along with the wife, and just had Red Zone on and just kind of listening to it, occasionally checking out the highlights. Trey, what's good, everybody? Question mark. Yeah, I did, Bo. Just watched Red Zone all day. Yeah, it sounds like a lot of people did. Some good games yesterday. There was indeed. And to the point, think about the Bengals, where they have 4 wins and they nearly beat, this team. You had a bunch of teams with lesser records that really threaten teams. So I only bring that up for one reason. We talk about, man, how do the Lions even have a game with the Giants? Records don't really mean jack, at least in my opinion. And you see that on a week-to-week basis with the NFL. Doesn't mean a lesser team can't quit, but sometimes those guys have a reason to play, whether it's free agency impending, they're trying to prove a point. I mean, there's so many different factors that go into each game. And you know what? The end of it, sometimes you just got pride. You get tired of losing. Anymore. Good morning, Coach Dan, the Duke Crew. What a team. What a podcast. Exclamation point. What a time to be a Lions fan. Woo! Good to see you, Henry, as always. Look at it. Morning, Bo, Riley, and, of course, Lauren. Grit wins. You got to have some grit, right? Detroit D. I like Denver to beat Green Bay next week, and Chicago could lose 3 out of the last 4 games. As long as they lose to the Lions during that stretch, wouldn't that be something? And I think you're right about Denver and Green Bay. All right, Big Eddie, Rock, and Kirby at safety. Whiteside, Reed, and Robinson at corner. Ooh, I wonder if that's what they could do. I like Nick Whiteside. I think most of us agree on that. Size doesn't matter everything in the NFL, especially for a cornerback. But having a 6'1", almost 6'2" corner who can run, jump, and leap while playing coverage, and I do think he locates the ball instinctively versus being programmed. So he reads body language. He sees when the receiver's hands start coming up, he goes and locates it. That's what we talked about in the preseason. I like that in a corner. Miles Mark, greetings, salutations, Coach and crew. After their game yesterday, would you say the Bears and Packers are evenly matched? I would. I mean, they're not egregiously one way or the other. I just hope Green Bay is a little bit better the next time they play once again. Ozzy Malley, good morning. For all my fans watching Lions Talk Live, what a great World Duke Crew team, 100%. Eddie Moore, good morning, Hookadoo, and fine grip Monday to you. Miles Margo, woo, Hookadoo, Ozzy Malley, Hookadoo. Mr. Hassan has entered the building, top of the afternoon, sir. Indeed. Dave, I had hoped maybe a couple more games would have gone our way yesterday. We got the big one, though. In your opinion, Green Bay beat Chicago. Yeah, 100%. That was probably priority number one. Although, again, to bring it up, the Tampa Bay Panthers race, that could be something. I don't know if either one of them will qualify if you don't win their division, if you would qualify for the playoffs, the wild card. But if you do, the Lions are going to have the tiebreaker over the Bucks, so that could be to our advantage. Let's see, Henry Moore. Good afternoon, Mr. Hassi, Miles Marga. I watched it, Bo. It was nuts for their fans in the snow. Yeah, good game to watch. Bo, what's the weather like in Cairo, Made? Question mark. It's going to be warmer there. Probably true. Jess, greetings, salutations, Duke Crew. The Rams looked very, very good yesterday. Not sure how we stop Matt. Just say 1 or 2 tips, 1 or 2 plays. That's what really what you're banking on. Henry Moore, Miles Marga. Lions Talk Live wouldn't be the same without you. Oh, yeah, I agree with that. Bo, I thought about Icky Woods making snow angels in the end of the game. It would have been a good game for it. Until they said Dak was unstoppable as well. Ooh, with an exclamation point. You are correct on that. Henry Moore, okay, thanks, my friend. Jess, morning crew, fair point. Attila, have to believe Shep and Dan have been working on ideas to slow the Rams down. Our offense can score on them without question. Yeah, I agree with you there. I think we can score on them. To your point, the players got Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. They report today for, positional work and stuff like that, film study. But I have no doubt the Lions coaching staff, there's no more time off this year. They've all been in there, scheming for offense, defense, special teams, any advantage they can get. Detroit D, like I said, I like what I seen from Miles Frazier at guard. I believe he played some center at LSU. Yeah, I don't remember that, but you could be spot on with that. I wouldn't be surprised. Well, we don't quote stop, end quote, Matt Stafford. We just slow his roll. I like it. France. So does Frazier start at left guard for us this week? Personally, I thought he played good last game. I thought he did too. I think a lot of it comes down to Mahogany. Can Mahogany go this week? If he can, then maybe he resumes, but I don't know. That would be a good question and a good problem to have. Jim, we play our game each of the next 4 weeks, and we are in the playoffs for sure. We are as good as anybody. Exclamation point. And I think by the time the end of this month comes around, I think the Lions would be, and I know we talk about it quite a bit, they would be one of the least desirable matchups in the playoffs just because their ability to throw the ball, run the ball. The defense, assuming Kirby Joseph comes back, maybe TA can come back for the playoffs. I don't know that, though. That's total speculation. Maybe Laporta comes back by that point. I'm guessing you're probably shutting down Laporta for the rest of this year, no matter what, but who knows? I'll see Madley. Good morning, my friend Hookadoo, Miles Margaret, Big Eddie, Cynthia, Silver Surfer, Henry Moore, Attila the Hun, all the above. Drake, what's good, do crew? Question mark. Have we heard any updates on Laporta? Not that at least I haven't. If you guys have, put it in the comment section. Trim Reaper, good morning, Coach Dan, the mighty Duke crew. Let's go, Lions. Woo! Back at you. Susan, 4 games to go. It's like a sprint to the end line, to the goal line. What do you want to say? How about the finish line? Any more? Good morning, Susan, Cynthia, wherever you are. I hope your move went well. There you go. Xavier, greatest salutations, Coach Dan of the Duke crew. Exclamation point. May everyone have a blessed day. I hope we beat Rams on Sunday. I do too. Our defense has to step up. Go Lions. Woo! Hey, good to see you. Hookadoo. You and me both, Hosny. I can't stand the Bears. Henry Moore, good morning, Trim Reaper, Southwest. Reading salutations, Duke crew. Woo! Back at you. Pierce. So first 2 picks in this order. Tackle center. Could be accurate. Hookadoo. The Slayer of Trolls. Good morning, Trim. Pierce. This is the draft to need a tackle. Yeah, there are some good ones, I know. I haven't done a ton of work on the draft, but I get where you're going with that. 5 first ready. For all those, quote, fans down on the team, just look at KC, Indy, Ravens. They wish they had our season. Let that hit you differently. Yes, indeed. Well said, my friend. Southwest, no more cowgirl talk. It's a new week. Time to smoke the Rams. Next, all we hear was Dallas receivers got smoked. Who, what the heck next? There you go. Lions Talk, Lion fan. Good morning, all. Hookadoo. Would number 3 be to replace Davenport Pierce? Could be. Jessica, good morning, Duke Crew family. Back at you. Trim Reaper, howdy. Southwest Lions would rule the world. How about that? Lions rule the world indeed. Pierce, Hoodoo, yep, because I will lose my mind if DTI comes back. I don't think he will, but you never know, right? All right, Hoodoo, Jess, good morning, Jess. I seen you in a commercial last night. Stephanie Water, good morning, boys. Exclamation point. I'm taking the kids to school soon. The last game of the year is looking more and more like us or the Bears get into the playoffs. I'm down with that, and I think it will probably come down to that. Any more focus? Rams up next. Exclamation point. Good morning, Jess. Blessed day to you. And back at you. Lauren, smash all the ones. Thank you for that. Hookadoo, seeing the Bears lose yesterday made my day 1,000%. I thought Frazier did well also. France Fernandez says Miles Margaret. Tori Apple, I was so happy for Ben in Chicago yesterday. I bet you were. See Harry Moore, Stephanie, exclamation point. What's rocking? Train hard, be hard. There you go. Standing with you, Tori, says Henry. Jedi Sith, Miles Marker. I bet next year Frazier takes over left tackle and Christian Mahogany is our left guard. Ooh, I wonder if that could be. That might not be a bad idea. I almost wonder, to your point, Jedi Sith, would you move Penei Sewell to left tackle and Frazier to right tackle? I don't know, man. Well, I guess we'll worry about that next year. Cynthia, good morning, everybody. Exclamation point. Back at you. String Theory, good morning. Bears lost. Lions control their own destiny. If Lions lose, then they go back to needing help. Correct with that. Hookadoo. Morning, Z. Good morning, Cynthia. Queen Mary, good morning, Duke Crew. And always a pleasure to see you, Queen. Dell, good morning, everyone. If we beat the Rams, we are in. I think you're right with that. That would be a massive win for us. String Theory. Green Bay did us a solid. Yes, they did. Let's see, Dennis. Good morning, Dan and Duke Crew. Any more? There she is. Exclamation point. Good morning, Mary. Woo! Hookadoo, good morning, the queen of grit. Dave, what do you got? Good morning, Dan and Duke Crew. Hope everyone's doing well. Go Lions. Woo! And back at you. Queen Mary, good morning to my Lions Talk Live brothers and sisters. How y'all feeling about another Lions retirement? Let's, if it does happen, I do think it's more likely one of them, if not both of them, are going to retire after this year. I know we've been talking about it to some degree throughout the season. I just think it's an inevitability at this point. Chuck, Radio Salutations, Coach Dan, the Mighty Duke Crew, exclamation point, back at you. Cynthia, good morning, Henry. Thanks. The move went well. Gotta get the TV hooked up in time for the Lions football. There you go. Good goal to have. Trim Reaper in a glass cage of emotions. Hey, the cage of emotions indeed. Who are going to do? Good morning to my fellow Lions fans, says String Theory. Lauren, hey, Coach, after looking at the kids' schedule, I won't be available this Saturday to hop on. I got 2 kids' basketball games early than Saturday. Hey, no worries, man. Go support the kiddos. Miles Meyer, it could be Jedi Sith. I'd be okay with that probability. Black Jar Jones, Grit Mondays. Let it get to it. Let's get to it. I'm going to back at you, String Lions Roar. Jen, good morning to all, and back at you. Cynthia, good morning, Hookadoo, exclamation point. Let's see, tomorrow's show, great content and solid production. Keep it up. I know how much work it is, bro. Hey, exclamation point. I do what I can, man, and hopefully it works for somebody. I can't say it worked for everybody, but I do the best I can, and thank you for the kind words there. Let's see, Henry Moore. Good morning, everyone. What a day to be a Lions fan. One game closer to the front. Shout out to my dad, Henry Moore. Have a great week. Look out, Rams. Here we come. Here we come walking down the street. Get the funniest looks from everyone we meet. Let's see, Robert. Where can we ever get out a full team? Haven't had it in 3 years. It's just part of football, right, Robert? Everybody gets hurt. Every team gets injuries. It's unavoidable, I feel. Remember, hit all the buttons. I agree with that with an exclamation points. Cynthia, good morning, Mr. Hassany. Easy, what do you got? Woo! And back at you. Joe, if Taylor Decker retires after this year, Frank Ragnow will not come back next year. Yeah, I would agree with that more than likely, Joe. Rich, good morning, Coach and Duke Crew. We're still alive. Yes, we are, with an exclamation point. We're rocking it out. Creative Kids, I feel so bad because this is the year anybody can win the Super Bowl, even Bull Jive Bears. Let's see, Trim Reaper, TK85 is still alive. Yes, he is. And Bo confirms. Robert, Ben Johnson got a dose of reality. He did. Easy. He better start again this week, Tom Kennedy. I wonder if he will. Steve, good morning, Coach Dan, and good morning, Duke Crew. Won't have time to catch the show live, but whatever the bad news is, we can preserve, keep the faith. Exclamation point. Woo! Yeah, I don't think it's going to slow us down this year, Steve, but in the offseason, we're probably going to have to move on from some guys. Dre Day, this should be expected nothing surprising. Graham and Decker should be close to if not retiring for this year. Yeah, I just think Father Time's probably got on him. Credit to Dave Burkett for getting this story. Vincent E., good morning, Coach Stanley, the Duke Crew. Woo! Back at you, Robert. Kennedy is a must. I would concur. Yeah, hex yes to Tom Kennedy, says Southwest. Henry Moore, good morning, Henry Jr. It's chilly here. Black Jared Jones. Yes, keep Tom Kennedy. Tom the Killer Kennedy. Yes, indeed. How's Manley? So, I hope you have a good, easy moving. Lauren, put TK85 on the 53 for the rest of the season. I bet they will, man. Mary Smith, I'm smiling today because you guys showed me so much love, and I really appreciate each and everyone on the Lions Talk Live chat. So forgive me if I don't personally say good morning to each of you. No worries, man. Too many of us to list all the times, right? You'd be here all day. Rich, TK proved himself Thursday night. He does. It seems fairly regularly. Southwest, we are winning out, and we had our bad games. Glad there will be all the way that early winning, playing perfect and hit rocks. When it counts, the most is over. We are playoff ready. I think you are right. We are going to be playoff ready. Lions Den, yes, keep TK85 on the 53-man roster, even if it just used on special teams. Joe, oh yeah, by the way, good morning, Coach Dan of the Duke Crew. Exclamation point, go Lions. Think we're going to win against the Rams, and when we beat the Rams, we are especially going to win out the rest of the season. Woo! I like the way you were foretelling the future. Lauren, I know I root for my UFL guys, but if we need to drop sailors for TK85, I'm good with that. 100% there, 100%. John, yes, TK should be on the 53-man roster. I agree. Southwest, Tom Killer says that follow his blocks and get us into the field position every time. He does a great job of kick returns. Kennedy does, no doubt about it. Cynthia, thank you, Mr. Hassani. It went well. Henry Moore, I read yesterday, but not 100% sure. But it does, Tesla have more touchdowns than a lot of top receivers in the league after a couple of games. I know that he does over most of the rookies. Not all, but most of the rookies. I can't speak for the entire NFL, though. Henry Moore Jr. Joe, we will be all right with Brian Branch out. We was the last game when he got suspended. Everybody stepped up. Rock Singh stepped up big. He did indeed. Easy. TK runs through the person's face. Lions Talk Live, SUP 313. Joe, but Kennedy is on the 53-man roster, more valuable than other guys on the team. Might be accurate. Vincent, top 15 for sure. I agree with you there. Yes, Tom Kennedy should be there. Permanent returner, exclamation point. Easy, yeah, top 15. Salvas, there's not even close to 20 people better than J-Mo. He's top 5. I'm down with that, 100%. Joe, I loved how Jahmyr Gibbs was breaking people's ankles. He does that fairly regularly, I would say. Easy, could be top 5 depending on the quarterback. There you go. Pierce, where is Broski today? Maybe taking a day off. Cynthia, Hookadoo, Cynthia, did you move close to the Ford Field? Maybe into Ford Field. Dennis, J-Mo is top 15. I'm down with that. Professor Steele, what up, Doe Crew? What's up, man of Steel? Don Kong, it's mock draft time. Not for this channel. I have to wait till after the season. Henry Moore, what do you got? Good question, Henry. Lauren, top 15. String, if St. Brown is Superman, then Williams is the Flash. Ooh, time, says Don Kong. He needs a timeout. Xavier, J-Mo should be number 1. Let's hope he gets there. Cynthia, J-Mo right behind St. Brown would be, I think. Okay. Hey, more. Good morning, Professor Steele. Easy is, I don't know, having a beverage? It could be. Reality Mike, good morning, Duke Crew. Exclamation point, back at you to my oldest friend in all the universe who lives down in Florida. Let's see. Southwest, what do you got? Mullet is gone. He was balling. I won't be surprised if they bring him back. Queen Mary, good morning, Professor. Mr. Hassani, I hope you have a good weekend. There you go. Vince E. Could Herbert be back from concussion protocol for Rams? He could just in time, I believe, if I have the timeline right in my head. That would also mean he didn't practice really at all this week, so we'll have to wait and see. It'd be nice to get him back, though. It'd be a big plus. Trim Reaper, I think Simmons would be worth a look. Probably they're going to kick some tires for sure. Pierce, Southwest, bet he comes back now. Professor Steele, sick this morning. Henry Moore got a cold, so hope you heal up, my friend. Have a delicious Mountain Dew from your local Circle K. Pierce, he might be consoling Caleb Williams today. Hassan Manley, good morning to our doctor and Professor Steele. Easy. Tesla, underrated too, probably accurate. But you know what? Each week, especially now that there's more reps for him with Laporta and Brock Rideout, he's probably going to get some more value as far as, stats and such. Pierce Hookadoo, he chipped the nail. Queen Mary, get well soon, Professor Steele. We need your grit. I concur. Trim Reaper, get feeling better, Professor Steele. Egon, make an athletic penonym like button. We'll see if we can do that. Make an athletic button. Paris Trim Reaper. Did DDI get Professor sick? Probably. Lauren Lyons. What up, Professor Steele? Easy. 5-4 and winning the division. Laughing out loud. Wow. It is what it is, right? CNF. Let Kenny take Sailor's spot. I wonder if they will. Henry Moore, Professor Steele. I take 50 milligrams of zinc for that stuff. MDDI strikes again, says Trim Reaper. Joe, have a great day, everyone. Go Lions! Exclamation points. Back at you. Easy, my bad. 7-6. I mean, I figured we were going with that, but I got you, man. Lions then, if Lions win out, they can either get second or third seed, and I see Green Bay and Bears losing some of the remaining games. We'll see what shakes out for sure. Easy, we might lose next week to LA. I hope not, but I expect us to at least one more. I would say if there's one more that I would be banking on us losing, not that I want us to bank on anything losing, but if there was one with a high probability, it's probably LA. After that, I think we went out. Laura Lions, greetings, salutations, Coach Dan, the Duke Crew, exclamation point, woo, and good to see you. Easy, hopefully Green Bay and Bears and some of the other teams lose now. But yeah, I think they will just because you're going to have them facing each other, so that will help the Lions a bit. Trim Reaper, I'm thinking it's going to be a shootout versus Stafford, probably. Henry Moore, I don't like autocorrect. Zink, I got you, man. Ron, greetings, salutations, Coach Dan, the Duke Crew, woo, exclamation points. Easy, I hope Frazier, a dude, we need offensive line bad. I think he's going to be, but you got to give him time to grow, to be fair to him. He got Seattle's defense looked incredible yesterday. They've got a team, man. No doubt about it. Detroit, I'd love the Bears to miss playoffs. You might get that wish. We'll have to see. Pierce Stafford will probably be MVP, and I think that's a fair statement to make. He's had a heck of a season, man. Hoogadoo. Henry Autocrat gets me so many times. Lions Den, if Lions can get some turnovers versus Rams, we could win that. I agree fully on that. Pierce, Trim Reaper, MDDI, easy. League is lucky Detroit's entire offensive line left unexpectedly. Probably accurate. Pierce, we desperately need Kirby this week. I wonder if he'll be back. Trim Reaper, never underestimate the power of Morton and Davenport. Okay. Lions Den, Goff is going to L.A. with a chip on his shoulder. Man, he's been there a couple times, and I get it, man. This is going to be, I think, the 5th time, or something like that we faced the Rams since the trade. I wonder how much it really is still in everybody's craw about that, on both sides of the fence. Egon, or anyone with Ort in their name, apparently. Easy. Hopefully they start double my Alaquin Muhammad so Hutch gets more one-on-ones. Very unlikely. Probably unlikely, yes. Trim Reaper is laughing. Dre Day Stafford is a guaranteed interception machine, infamously known for letting teams get a lead in most games in his career. Might be some truth. Lions Den, yes, bring in Hassanin. David, greatest salutations, one game at a time. Let's go Lions. I like the way you're thinking. Hassanin Medley, I live in Orange County, and Ahmed Hassanin born there. I hope we win Rams to another step forward to playoffs. Go Lions. I like it indeed. Trim Reaper, I see that's your Schwartz is bigger than mine. Hey, that's a good quote. JK, things go south quick next game versus Rams. Just saying. Let's hope not. Hoogadoo, Hassanin with rattle the cage. Oh, yeah. I'll take that. Well, he can rattle the cage. Easy. Rams are susceptible to the run game. That's how Panthers beat them. You are right there. The Panthers took advantage of it. JK, Rams. Pierce. Dreda, you don't get that many game-winning drives without the picks. Ooh, fair point. Easy, thanks for cleaning that up. I thought you meant lambs. All right. Keep Al, says John. Simo Stoop, tardy but present. Always a pleasure to have you on the show, present or tardy, I guess. I don't know. JK, had to clear it with y'all what I thought was talking about. Hey, no worries there. Dre Day, Pierce Sargent, true, but that's why the Lions can win since Stafford always tries to give games away. Easy, laughing. If the Lions upset the Rams, watch out, baby. There you go. Okay, we're going to avoid down that one. Amy, good morning, Coach Dan and the ultra fabulous Duke crew. Exclamation point. Everyone, please push those like buttons and push all the buttons, right? Easy, if they can somewhat sure that offensive line and protect Goff, we'll back in. I think we will be back in them. Green Mare, my heart goes out to my Lions who have been through the worst of times, but their health is more important than anything. They will be greatly missed. I think at some time, face it, every Lion you watch play is going to retire, so I get your point. JK, I have Lions winning. I'll take that. Hoogadoo. Decker should retire and has beat up his body for the Lions for years. He deserves to retire of a problem lineman. We'll see if he does. Lions Den, I'll miss Decker. Not so much Glasgow. Brand Holmes better focus on offensive linemen in the draft. I think they are going to be part of the plan. JK fixed the O-line this offseason heavily. I think they will. Pat, good morning, crew. Back at you. Moonscar Blade definitely will not have seen 4 winning seasons in a row before. Just need one more win to make that happen. Stephen, greetings, salutations, Duke crew and Coach Dan. Go Lions! Exclamation point. Keep the faith. Faith is being kept. Johnny Gas Sports, good morning, Dan and Duke crew. Always good to see you guys, man. Trim Reaper, time for some bear hunting, probably. Hoogadoo, Detroit Matt, I like your picture. Oh, yeah, I'll take that. Trim Reaper, good morning, Johnny Gas, Dre Day. If the Chiefs still have a chance to get in the playoffs, then there is no reason why Lions fans should feel pressure on getting in. Okay. Joe, first time on here. Coach, the trap game is the Steelers game because of Rodgers. Maybe. You might be right. Might be right indeed. Detroit, any chance Kirby plays with the Rams? There's always a chance, my friend. JK, running out of Crystal. Deluxe, okay. Moonscar Blade, 1969 through 72 was the last time the Lions had 4 winning seasons in a row, 14 game seasons. Hey, how about that? Trim Reaper, so you're saying there's a chance. Always a chance. Jerome, hey, Brad, 2 linemen are thinking about retiring. Are you taking notes and planning for it? I got to imagine he is. We'll see, though. Hassanin Manley, Coach Dan Thornton, I believe if Ahmed Hassanin rotate him in the last 2 games, I think it will make a difference because of all the quarterbacks. They are worn out, and Med is very hungry, my opinion. I like your opinion. Thomas, we need to be real here. Chicago, Green Bay, Both these are better than ours. Minnesota looks much better. The last 4 game stretch, we more than likely lose a minimum 1. We'll see what happens. Vernon, good morning, Coach Dan and Duke Crew! Exclamation point. Coach, I got a question for you. Question mark. Do you all think Brad Holmes will ever stop drafting guys previous injuries? Probably not. It's just part of his mantra. And the other part is, by the time you make the NFL, everybody's had an injury of some type. It's just how severe. Joe, we will win out. Let's get a Sheila. Woo! Coach Dan, we will be 12-5 after the season is over. I think we are going to see our best games playing coming up, and it couldn't be a better time. Yeah, I'll go with, how about that? And you want a Sheila Woo? 1, 2, 3. And will you go? JK, push it for Hassanin Trade Day. Oh no, Debbie is back. Shake my head. Let's hope not. Joe, I think we might even get King of the North 3 years straight. Let's see if that happens. Trim Reaper, -3 here. Stay warm, my friend. Gary, good morning, everyone. Just say Butt Kiss Broski, and he'll be here. And I know you are. How do you like my call for the Butt Kiss Broski? Okay. Harold, good morning. Dan and Duke Crew, exclamation point, go Lions. They got this. I like the way you're thinking. Southwest, last week it was Dallas offense can't be stopped. This week it's the Rams. Same outcome, Lions win. I like it indeed. Like the way you're thinking. JK Carey, he will spawn in the Candyman, like Candyman indeed. Southwest, just win, baby. Go Lions. I like it, Steven, we got to get pressure Matt Stafford all game long. Limit opportunities to see his feet, to set his feet to throw. Joe, come on, Duke Crew. Hit those like and hype buttons to help push the channel out there for more viewers. Let's go, Duke Crew. Yes, thanks for all you guys do, by the way. All right, Thomas. Southwest, Sam Laporta is out. Let's leave it there. Get well soon, Sam. Bam, boom. And there you go. Yeah, with his back being what it is, if it was me, I'd just say, hey, we'll see you next year. But I guess without knowing the full extent of the recovery and everything, is it possible he returns? Yes, there's a chance, right? Thomas Hutchin Muhammad, better bring it. Stafford could throw for 400 if we don't sack him a minimum of 5 times. Exclamation! We can win by keeping the ball away, more knuckles, and our defensive line shows up. There you go. Gary, laughing out loud. Trim Reaper, have a great day, Coach and Duke Crew. Woo! Exclamation point, back at you. Shep needs to let our defensive ends leeway to get to the quarterback any way possible. Defensive tackles call control to bull rush. All right. Hookadoo, sorry, Joe Caldwell, you're Joseph C. Good morning. Yeah, hey, it is. Yeah, Joseph C. There you go. And I get the YouTube thing with the new names or switch names. There's a way you can switch it back. I just don't have the link available to me right now, but maybe somebody can put it in the comment section. Detroit, what do you got is, I'm not sure. Detroit, KC fans want to fire Andy Reid. That's how fan bases go. Thomas, slap the like, y'all. I'll go with that. Carrie, 1 down, 4 to go, broski. You got got away with 1 major injury. Okay. Thomas, absolutely. If Decker retires, put Panay at left tackle. Frazier can play right tackle. But remember, we won't be able to run certain plays because of Sewell's ability. It happens, man. Southwest, the Bears got in the car this morning, and the Lions was in their back seat. Pressure, 100%. And I think the Bears know it, especially if they lose the next game and the game after that. Imagine all the pressure they'll be feeling going into that game. You're not wrong on that thought at all, Southwest. Kerry, can Caleb stay injury-free to that last game, broski? We'll find out. Pat, good morning. Hookadoo. I say, Madly, the weather in Cairo, same as LA. Detroit, it's still possible Packers and Bears lose out. Lions win out, and we win the North. I guess it's possible that the Packers and Bears could tie the last game. I don't know. But we'll see 1 game at a time. Benjamin Brewer, this will be 1 loss. Let's hope not. Trim River, hail to the queen of Lions Talk Live. Lauren, Detroit, they both cannot lose out because they face each other 1 more time. Hey, there you go. Gary, Ben expression at the end of the game said it all, broski. I'll have to check that out. I didn't catch it. I stopped watching the last couple minutes. Pat, I think this week, the Lions type of game, I think we win by 10. I like the way you're thinking. Harp, what do you got? Hey, Coach Dan, haven't seen you in a while. Go Lions. Good to have you back on the show, my friend. Let's see. Day of International Time Travel Day. So, yes, Lions will beat the Rams on Sunday. We'll get to that, and I think you're right with that, Martins. Let's see. Thomas Downer, make no mistake. Exclamation point. Chicago has marked the last game of the year. The Rams and Chicago will be the toughest 2 we will play. Steelers, no pushover. Vikings are playing much better. We best be ready. Be ready indeed. However, we are loaded in the NFC North. We will be better soon. Lauren Van Esch, Broski lost and the Lions won, so he's not here. Might be accurate. Harold, good morning. Dan and Duke Crew. Exclamation point. Lions got this. Go Lions. I like the way you're thinking. Pat, Broski just here watching, laughing out loud. Could be lurking in the shadows for sure. All right, we are, who are the key injuries? Man, we got a few injuries, don't we? Granderhand, need elite offensive line to beat Eagles? Probably true. Ziggy and friends, good morning. Captain Dan, the Duke Crew, All-Stars. Always a pleasure to see you. Harper, good morning. Kurt, get better? Yeah, hope Kurt Steele's feeling better. Harold, hey, Broski, Sarge, Hale here. Exclamation point. Good to see you, my friend. Feels like it's been a minute. Gary Broski is here. I said that more than 5 times. Maybe he'll appear. Thomas, we need more Knuckles. Exclamation point. Late in the year, other teams' D linemen are just as tired as we are. Give Knuckles equal carries. Maybe they will. T. Martins, let's see. Good. Tom Kennedy might end everybody's boss on the Lions. He might be everybody's boss on the, he has real leadership skills and the top delivering on the field. He does a good job. Brian takes some real honey, Kurt Steele. Maybe that's what he should do. Harper, good morning. JK. Trim River, good morning. Broski Bear. T. Martinez, go Lions, 100%. Keep them going. Grinder hand, what do you got? Need speed D-line to beat Bears. Caleb has great escape talent. He does, man. He's a USC guy. Hassan Maley, let's see. Ahmed Hassan played on LA field before he was in the University of Boise after they got Mountain West Championship League for LA Bowl. Go Lions. I'll keep that in mind. Lions will beat Rams. I like the way you're thinking. Where's Broski? Question mark. You're here. Good morning. All right. Andrew, Coach Dan, I watched the offsides penalty non-called 10 times. Glasgow snapped the ball early, according to John Madden, the kiss of death for aging center who are trying to mask a slow first step. You might be right there. Thomas, thoughts? Question mark. I love Tesla, but imagine those 3 third-rounders and playing for Garrett. Just throwing it out there. Maybe. JK, good morning. Harp. T. Martins, let's see. Glad Bears lost yesterday. I think we all are. Brian, need Barnes to continue to play well. I agree. Harp. Hey, JK, I heard that Aleem is injured. Do you know anything about it? Not that I've heard, at least. Let's see. TK85 for Lions. Good morning. Back at you. Kerry, Broski's putting his bandages like the Tiny Johnson. Dennis, good morning. Dan and Duke Crew, back at you. Let's see. Thomas, our biggest issue, the D. Exclamation point. Look at our last 4 games. They're not trending in the right direction. Got to get to Stafford. He'll get 3 to 5 seconds to throw. Big trouble. I agree with that. Brian, I'm not a Stafford fan at all, but he is the MVP right now and only has 5 interceptions this year. Correct. TK, so underrated. Probably accurate. Ziggy and friends, if the Panthers can beat the Rams, we can do it. I agree with that. JK, no, Aleem not injured, but I believe he is 100%. I think he's still coming back from the ACL. It doesn't usually just happen in a year. It takes time. Mary Smith has Queen Mary. Have a blessed and safe day. See you all in the morning. See you then. T. Marquines, not a Stafford fan either, but look what happened. Harp, so the Rams can't stop the run? I hope so. JC, greeting sanitation Duke, exclamation point back at you. Harp, okay, thanks. Ragnar will remain retired probably. Henry Moore, yeah, right with you. Glad you are here. Exclamation point. Agreed. Harp, if we can run on all 8 cylinders, we can win against the Rams. I agree with that. TK85, never, ever let him go. Exclamation point. Never a superstar, always solid indeed. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. If there is breaking news later today, I'm going to get it over to you as soon as possible. If you would be so kind before departing, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit all the buttons. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Do something kind for somebody you don't know. Be a good human being. And we'll see you guys all in the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody. Have a phenomenal day.
Excuse me, sir. Would you... Donations to the Reverend Moon? Jews for Jesus?
Read about Jehovah's Witness? How about Buddhism?
Help Jerry's kids? Oh, yeah. Scientology?
Or nuclear power?